is looking solid right now, but I do think we need to push harder if we want to stay competitive. Here's the report.
What is up, everybody? Welcome once again to my YouTube channel, and today let's continue with another episode of our career mode. And as we are going to prepare for the Malaysian Grand Prix, as you can see from that graphic, Ferrari is very close to us on the research and development race, and Red Bull have gone a little bit further away because they just brought an upgrade of they increased the downforce of their cars. So as you can see, we are very close to winning the rivalry against Bottas. We have won the last two Grand Prix, so let's hope we can make 3 in a row.
Welcome to F1. It's now time for the important stuff. Time for qualifying here at the Malaysia Grand Prix.
Oh, here we are at the end of our Q1 lap, and I screwed up. For some reason I went out on the medium tires, which I intended to go on Q2, but I made a lap with them in Q1. Nevertheless, still got in the top 3, right behind right behind both Mercedes. We even made a faster lap than our teammate, and this is our first race in this career mode where we are racing with the ultimate AI, because I'm just very confident in my pace around this track. You can see the leaderboards, I'm very quick around here. And we are now going to the end of our Q2 lap. We post a 1:34.9, which got us first place at the time. At the end of the session we maintained first place by 0.6 of a second. We just smashed everyone else. Jesus Christ. Pascal Wehrlein got through to Q3. Sebastian Vettel knocked out in 11th place. He was on the medium tires and did not manage to make a lap work. But Nico Rosberg is going to start on the mediums, as he qualified P7 with his set of mediums. We are now in our Q3 lap as we are on the softs, but it has started to rain as we were on our out lap. So yeah, let's see what we can do. The lap times are going to go down a little bit as it's raining quite a bit. It's going to make the traction very tricky. And on top of that, we got out just behind Rosberg, so I'm hoping it does not hold us up too much. We already post a 24.1 in the first sector. Now we approach this very fast section of corners, and we are immensely faster than Rosberg. So let's hope this does not compromise our lap. I had to go on the inside because, yeah, I just didn't care, because the track was only going to be wetter and wetter the further we were racing on it, and the lap times were only going to drop down. So I need to make the most out of the opportunity I have. And as we approach the end of the second sector, a 58.1 second sector, which is not the best ever, but considering the battle we had with Rosberg and the track conditions and the weather conditions, it's very good, as we almost lose the back end under braking. That corner is a very tricky one to brake and turn at the same time, especially because you carry lots of speed through there, and the momentum makes your rear want to step out. Very good on the braking into the last lap. Let's see how good the traction is. Open the RS, go up through the gears, and cross over the line to post a 1:38.4, which was 0.4 than the previous first place Raikkonen. And we jump to the results, and we are at first place. We actually got pole. 1 second. It was 1:39.8 for Raikkonen, not 1:38.8. But 1 second ahead of everyone else. Daniel Ricciardo in 3rd, Rosberg 4th, Lewis Hamilton in 5th, Verstappen 6th, Massa 7th, Sainz 8th. Our teammate starts in P9, and Jenson Button, with a great display, managing to go through to Q3 and is qualifying in the 10th position. So let's move on into the race.
A young Spaniard named Fernando Alonso sat at the front of the grid here over a decade ago now. The first flash of greatness in a race that also gave us the maiden win for Kimi Raikkonen. The Malaysian Grand Prix is an event for gifted racers to climb to the top and for those on the sidelines to find new talents. 5 lefts and 10 rights make up the 15 corners of Sepang's 3.4-mile circuit, a track where the weather always threatens to play a deciding factor. The drivers will be subjected to forces in excess of 4G and heavy braking zones in 4 of these corners, 2 of which come at the end of DRS zones into turn 1 and to turn 15. And alongside me today to talk you through all that is Anthony Davidson. And welcome again. It's good to be back in Kuala Lumpur, isn't it? A lovely country, Malaysia, lovely circuit, and a race that tends to be quite hard to predict.
Yeah, it does indeed. There are a lot of high-energy corners that make the rear tyres suffer around here. Coupled with the excessive heat, that makes it difficult to keep your tyres in the right operating window. And of course, in previous years, we've come here very early in the season, which shows a potential reliability variable in there as well.
Okay, remember to protect the inside on the run down to turn 1. Make yourself as wide as possible, robust but fair.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. It's Manor in pole position then, edging out Raikkonen, who'll start P2. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Ricciardo, Rosberg, Lewis Hamilton and Verstappen, Massa, Sainz, Wehrlein and Jenson Button. Vettel, Alonso, Daniel Kvyat and Perez, Hülkenberg, Palmer, Valtteri Bottas and Kevin Magnussen, Gutierrez and Grosjean, Marcus Ericsson and Felipe Nasser starts from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
As we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go for the Malaysian Grand Prix. We did not get the best of starts, we lose the back end, but Raikkonen in a very poor start is already down to P5 or something like it. The both Mercedes got a very good start. As you can see, Hamilton is already side by side into turn 1 with Daniel Ricciardo. Ricciardo got promoted up to P2 following the bad start of the Ferrari, and Hamilton is already to Hamilton started right behind his teammate. He started in 5th place and is already up to P3 after the first set of corners. But even though we got a little bit of a gap for them, we are now going to show you the replays of the start. As you can see, we are now following the onboard camera of Kimi Raikkonen. It just bogs down and is just getting engulfed on a sea of other cars, as he got down to P7 even before the braking zone of the first corner. So he lost 5 places in very quick succession, and yeah, he manages to go side by side with the Red Bull of Max Verstappen. But let's see who wins this race until the first braking zone, and looks like it is actually Verstappen as the Dutch driver goes on the inside. Valtteri, not Bottas, but Felipe Massa also makes an overtaking maneuver on the Mercedes of Nico Rosberg. So we are now jumping on the onboard cam of Lewis Hamilton. Even though his teammate got a very good start, Hamilton got an even better start. He goes on to catch some slipstream from the Australian and then dives down on the inside. I don't know why the Australian left him the door open there, but yeah, nevertheless that's how it went. And Lewis Hamilton is already up to P2 with a great start from him. Now jumping to our teammate Starty, who started in P9, but be aware that he has Vettel right behind him. As you can see, Vettel got a very good start and is already making it side by side as Wehrlein squeezes onto the curb one of the Toro Rosso, I believe it is Sainz. And now he has the inside line onto the exit of turn 2, but Vettel just has better exit. He has a superior car. And I think that was Jenson Button behind him. He also got a place on the Toro Rosso. I believe it was Carlos Sainz. But we are now jumping to the end of lap 1, I believe. as Nico Rosberg is going to try a move on the inside of Felipe Massa. But yeah, he pushes wide a little bit to Massa, so Massa had to slow down to avoid any contact. But now he has the slipstream and he's coming right back at the German driver, side by side as we approach the braking zone for turn 1. A little bit of smoke coming out of the Brazilian's front right as he locked up a little bit, but nevertheless he gets a beautiful move done. In the following lap, I believe this is the end of lap 2 now, Rosberg tries once again the move he made in the previous lap, and this time he makes it stick. Meanwhile, our teammate is going to try to make up the most of that tangle between Vettel and the other Ferrari driver, the Finnish Kimi Raikkonen. And our teammate is side by side with Vettel as we approach the last corner. He already has his nose up in front, and on the exit he has to tighten his exit to not have contact with the Ferrari. That gives Vettel a better exit as we are going to run down into turn 1. And yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to do anything, as he even has to defend from Jenson Button. Nevertheless, he had to try there, and Button did not manage to find the space to make an overtaking opportunity work. And Massa is now quite dropping down as he is overtaken by, I want to say that is Max Verstappen. And now he gets a poor exit as everyone else has DRS. He doesn't, so here comes the Finnish driver, Massa, locking up his front right once again, going very deep into the corner, and is now side by side with Vettel. Vettel looks like he gets a better exit. Let's see how it goes. And yeah, Sebastian Vettel is through, so Felipe Massa just dropping down through the order. He just lost 3 places, a very unfortunate chain of events for the Brazilian, but he's not giving up yet. He dives on the inside of turn 5, I believe that is, and they are now side by side through 6 and 7. Let's see who gets it through. No, Felipe Massa once again has to give up on the move as it was too tight to go side by side through there. We are now approaching the end of lap 3, and Hamilton, we got a very poor exit. We went too much on the curb at the exit of the last corner. As we approach now the start of lap 4, Hamilton with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as he has DRS. He might try something. He's side by side with me into the braking zone. We slightly lock up. There was some smoke coming out of my tires, but now I have to go as I have the inside line. But no, it was not enough to try to come back at Lewis Hamilton. And as you can see, we do not have DRS, so he's over 1 second of a gap. And Daniel Ricciardo is now on our mirrors as Hamilton posts the fastest lap of the race once again. Further back, this is still the end of lap 3, and it is, I want to say, Kimi Raikkonen side by side with Max Verstappen as he has DRS and goes down on the inside. But once again, just like Massa on the previous laps, Raikkonen has to tighten up his exits, so there was not much he could do. Fortunately, he had DRS, so he managed to defend from the Red Bull driver. Because we have now a battle between Carlos Sainz and our teammate. I believe this is for 10th place. Carlos Sainz has the inside line, we have the outside line, maybe have better traction, and we managed to get the defensive maneuver done. We are now in lap 6, and this is Felipe Massa, I want to say. Yes, it is Massa battling for what is around 8th place, and he is battling with Jenson Button, who is doing an amazing start of the race. He started P10 and he's battling for P8. He did not manage to find the space to make an overtaking maneuver done, but nevertheless a good start for the British driver. We are now in lap 7, and our teammate is battling with the Williams, I believe it is Valtteri Bottas, who has made up some places up to the field, and even though Verline has DRS of the car ahead, Bottas adds the slipstream and makes a move on the inside of the last corner. Our teammate has to lift off from the throttle to avoid any contact, and that was it for him. Now in lap 7 we are following myself and Daniel Ricciardo. Let's see if he tries anything. He goes on the inside line for turn 1. I give him the inside, I go to the inside as he swoops around the outside, but nevertheless we got better traction and defended the move from him. As you can see, with all those battles, Hamilton has gone 2.7 seconds of a gap at the moment, and as we just saw, I caught out the corner of my eye, we were very worn on our tires. So at lap 8 we make a dive onto the pit straight. I believe we are the first of the leaders to actually go into the pits, and we are going to make a switch onto a set of the hard tires, I want to say. I am not sure, but yes, it looks like it is hard tires indeed for my car. A 2.9 second pit stop, and we rejoin the track right behind Hulkenberg in P16. So let's see how quickly we are able to go up through the field, as we are now approaching the end of lap 9. We are going to have, if not the DRS, at least the slipstream on Hulkenberg, as we overtook Massa as well, as Massa was in the pit lane, and we make up 2 positions, and we are already up to 14th. In lap 10, I believe this was the time the other cars started to go into the pits, as we see the Mercedes of Hamilton followed by Daniel Ricciardo. They are going into the pits. As we follow, we also got a Ferrari in the distance. I don't know if it was Raikkonen or Vettel coming into the pits. As Ricciardo approaches his pits, the gap was too big, he did not manage to hold the leader of this race. Now we have Kimi Raikkonen was the one coming into the pits, making a change onto a set of the soft tires, so that will be interesting to see. And Hamilton will join side by side with our teammate. Our teammate is now something like 5th place due to everyone else pitting, and Hamilton in fact does not have the room to get past, so he's going to get held up a little bit, and we rejoin the track right behind Daniel Ricciardo. We tried to make as late as we could, but yeah, we got undercut by the Red Bull driver, and yeah, that's a shame. We were pushing as hard as we could, but looks like he still had life on his soft tires. I didn't, so yeah, I was forced to make a pit. But we are still chasing him, we are very close to him, so maybe we can do anything. Yeah, we got a better exit and are side by side with him through corners 6 and 7. And as you go, it looks like we touch. Yeah, Daniel Ricciardo has spun out. He's in the gravel, as you just caught, and I'm going to show you the slow motion of that, because I think I gave him lots of room. I was in the marbles, as you can see. I was not in the racing line, and he just understeers onto my car. So I don't think I have any sort of responsibility in that incident, as I really don't think there was anything more we could do. So we got a safety car deployed for Daniel Ricciardo, as Daniel Ricciardo does not rejoin the track fast enough, as the AI just stopped dead at the side of the track. And there are some cars going into the pits, our teammate included, and he's going to benefit a lot from the delta, so he might make up a few positions, and he's going to make a switch maybe onto another set of soft tires, I am not sure. Nevertheless, we are going to rejoin right behind Verstappen, who used the delta to make an undercut on me. So I got past one Red Bull and I got undercut by the other, and Nico Rosberg also jumped us, and he is now the leader of the race. We are going to prepare for green flag racing as we approach the end of the safety car period. It will start as soon as we go after the corner, and Max Verstappen is fuming on his car and he is out of the race. He pulls off to the side, and now we are too further away to get any advantage of the slipstream from Alonso, and Vettel is on filling our mirrors, and fortunately he does not have the space to carry out any overtaking maneuvers. But well, we just got a free place due to the incident with the Red Bull driver. As we are now following a battle between Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton, as Rosberg went for a pit on the medium tires and Hamilton is on the softs. We are now at lap 15 and Alonso is right in front of us. We do not have DRS. I don't think DRS is available just yet. But we have a rich mix and we have the slipstream. As we asked Jeff, light rain arriving in 5 minutes time. So probably going onto the medium tires was not the best bet. But well, we could not predict that there was going to be a safety car. And we move up into P3 as we are now following our teammates. Pascal Wehrlein is in P17. I don't know where he is in terms of the standings, but he's witnessing a battle between the Force India of Hülkenberg, I believe, and the Toro Rosso of Carlos Sainz. I want to say the Force India and the Toro Rosso touch, so they slow down a little bit, so much that Perez is now all over the rear wing of our teammate, but 3 wide into turn 1, and our teammate actually makes 2 positions as he overtook Hülkenberg, who had no DRS, and he also went on the insides to overtake Carlos Sainz. And Perez is side by side with Sainz, so he pulls off the move and gets 2 positions as well. So both driving from both our teammate and Sergio Perez, as you saw a replay of the contact between Hülkenberg and the Spanish driver, and everyone is coming back at him since he has no DRS and everyone is so bunched up. As you can see, Sainz picks the left hand side, we pick the right hand side, Perez picks the right hand side, which is the inside line for turn 1. Both our teammate and Perez have the tire advantage, as they were on mediums and both of the other cars were on hards, and both of them make 2 moves in just 1 corner, which was great. As we are now at in lap 19 and we have a very bad exit as it is starting to rain, so the line is definitely going to get greasy. We were being in a very troublesome position in some of these corners as we are just testing out the grip. Speaking of grip, it looks like we have better grip than Vettel coming out of the last corner, even though he tried a move down on the inside. Everyone has DRS, I do not have DRS, but I have rich mix and I'm sandwiched between both Ferraris as Raikkonen comes out of nowhere with his soft tire, so he managed to catch up to his teammate and to me, but 3 wide we managed to defend from Vettel, and now on the inside of Raikkonen we defend from Raikkonen as well, but he's coming back at us on this straight. We are going to bang wheels as Raikkonen gives us some taps, but under brakes we squeeze him a little bit onto the apex and manage to defend from him. So a great battle we had with both Ferraris, as we are going to show you a different perspective of that battle. As you can see, Vettel using DRS goes on the brakes and makes a move on the inside, but as you can see we have a better exit and Raikkonen is just slipstreaming off both of us and is going to make it 3 wide, but under the braking zone we are going to get the inside line on Vettel, so we force him too deep for him to make any contest, and then we go very on Raikkonen goes very deep on turn 2, and we not only get the line advantage, we got the grip advantage as it was on the marbles at that point, and it's just a beautiful race, a beautiful battle. As we are now onto the beginning of lap 22, and we are going to dive onto the pits for a set of the intermediate tires. It looks like none of the guys in front of us pitted. I mean, I'm talking about Raikkonen. So Ferrari did not double stack, so Raikkonen and I think both Mercedes did not stop. Hülkenberg did not stop as well. We have now the replay of our teammate, and everyone else is pitting around him. As you can see, we made the stack work as we were already off into the distance long before he went into the pits, even though the AI of the pit crew does give you a little bit of delay once you stack. Even there will be no problems in real life, but yeah, he gets held up a little bit and he lost like 3 positions, so he's down to something like 13th at the moment, I'm not sure. And we are now on the intermediates, and this rain isn't likely to go away soon. Rain heavy rain in 10 minutes time. As we nearly hit the back of Hulkenberg, he was still on the hard tires. And Raikkonen dives into the pit, so we're going to make a move on Raikkonen. And Hamilton is on the intermediates in front of us, but I don't know if Rosberg is on the intermediates as well. I'm going to say no, because they were battling, they were very close, both Mercedes, and now I can only see one on the minimap. So I'm going to say he didn't. Yeah, as you can see, Rosberg maintained on his medium tires, so he's going to get just undercut. He's going to get overtaken by Hamilton, by me, maybe even by Vettel as he approaches the end of the pit straight. And we are now jumping to lap 26, and we are on this. No, this is not us. This is Pascal Wehrlein slipstreaming off of Sergio Perez, I believe. As we now go to a beautiful shot of the last corner. And now, as you can see, our teammate, we do not have DRS as it is wet conditions, but we do have the slipstream, and we are going now side by side with the Mexican driver into turn 1. We get the inside line of turn 1. Let's see how we do in turn 2. Looks like Perez does not come back at us, and we get a very good maneuver done. We are now jumping to lap 27. We nearly lose the back end at the exit of the last corner, but we're making up slowly but surely. We're making up a gap on Lewis Hamilton. So we are very competitive under rain conditions. As you can see, the gap is already 3 seconds. We are also making a gap to Rosberg. The gap to Rosberg is already 10 seconds. So yeah, we are in rich mix. We are going to make we are going to burn the fuel, so we are as light as possible, because there is no point in going into rich mix in the rain. I just wanted to get our car lighter, because I know that gives us an advantage in raining conditions. As first, we do not have as much weight as the others, so we do not have as much of understeer or oversteer. We are going to be easier on the tires as well, as we do not have as much weight, so we are not stressing the tires so much. But yeah, we are making up a gap on Hamilton, and at lap 30 he is still the leader, but we are going to dive onto the pits for a change onto the full wet tires, as it is raining a lot. As you can see, we actually got in front of him and the pit straight, but yeah, he's too close. We are going to lose the position once again once we go into our pit stop. 2.9 seconds of a pit stop, so not the quickest ever, but it is in the average for Manor. We are now jumping to the camera of Nico Rosberg, who makes a switch, but he's held up by Ricciardo. I believe this is Ricciardo, as we are now have Vettel coming out of his pit stop as well behind the Mercedes driver, and we have now Bottas as well coming out of the pits, and our teammate is going into the pits. Let's see if he gets held up by anyone as we go for a change. A little bit of a delay once again, but looks like he gets through very quickly. So he actually gets out in front of Perez, so well done by the team. As we are now jumping onto lap 31, and in the weather report, light rain in 5 minutes time, so the rain is going to ease up, but the track will be too wet for us to make a change onto the intermediate tires right away. As you can see now at the end of lap 31, the gap to Hamilton is 1.2, so we are definitely catching up on him. We have already a 13.6 second gap to Nico Rosberg, as we nearly lose the back end, and then we have major oversteer as we do not have the braking power, as I had to control the slide. But nevertheless, we are catching up to Hamilton, and it looks like we are still on the rich mix, or maybe it will only be for the overtaking maneuver. And we are catching up to him. We have the slipstream. We pull off into the left hand side of his car, which is going to be the inside line for the first corner. We push him a little bit wide, so he does not have the best of traction on the exits, and we just smashed him on traction as we cross over the line to have a 1.2 second of a gap already, as we have already a 15.2 gap to Nico Rosberg. In one lap we gained more than a second to him, which was just insane. As we are now approaching the end of lap 24, just as we go past the pit entrance, Jeff decides to ask us to go onto the intermediate tires. When they ask us for intermediates, it's usually the right time for inters, but yeah, he could have said that to me 3 seconds early, so I could go into the pits in that same lap. So we didn't, so we're going to get undercut by everyone else as we follow the pit stop of the Red Bull of Ricciardo, I want to say. I think he might have been slightly caught up by the Manor, by the Sauber coming through, as we have a beautiful shot of the pit stop of, I believe that is Valtteri Bottas, as Felipe Massa completely disappeared out of the face of this race. And our teammate is going to come out of the pits in P9, I believe, once again in front of Perez, as he looks like he's quicker than Perez at the moment. So in the following lap we are going into the pits. We are going to a 2.5 second pit stop, which was quicker than all others we had before. In lap 42 we are going to get notified that we should go into the pits for a set of the medium tires, and we do, as we were lapping Nazar, but we go onto a set of the medium tires as we just run over that has mechanic, so that was not the best of outcomes. Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg both go for a set of hard tires. As we jump now to the race director, the 3 is the same. Sebastian Vettel starting 11 is now 4th, a great race from him. Ricciardo, Raikkonen, our teammate in P7, then Alonso, Kvyat, Perez, Jenson Button, and Felipe Massa down in 12th, over starting 17th. Valtteri Bottas 13th after starting P15, so he's having a good race. And then Max Verstappen being the only car who has retired this far. And we are now in lap 48, and as you can see, Hamilton was very fast in these conditions. Even though he had the hards and we had the mediums, he was very fast in the later stages of this race. He's already caught up to us. He tried a maneuver on the outside, which I fended him off quite easily, but we are now jumping into lap 49. And Nico Rosberg is in the distance, so he has not been able to catch up, even though we are battling, as the British driver SDRS makes a move on the inside. Let's see how it goes as we go around the outside. We have to get back on him, even though we do not have the DRS. We have the slipstream effects. Let's see if we can make anything work. And we actually are going on the inside onto turn 1. Let's see if we can get the better traction coming out of turn 2. Looks like we do, and we held on to our lead as we are now at the beginning of lap 51, and Nico Rosberg is definitely closer, and it's Hamilton's turn to go on the inside of turn 1, but I go closer, I believe. Yeah, I managed to stick my nose in there at all times, and Hamilton has to take that into consideration, so he does not have the perfect getaway from turn 2, and I managed to get side by side with him, and I have the outside line. I pinch him onto the apex, get the better exit, and get the move done. So back to first place we are, as we are now at the end of lap 51, so we are battling him once again for the second time in the last lap. As you can see, this beautiful shot from the helicopter, as we just got out with better traction out of the last corner, but just look at the speed, at the difference in speed. As we pick the inside line, Hamilton goes on the outside, and Rosberg is very close to us. So any mistakes from me or from Hamilton are going to get capitalized on by Rosberg for sure, as Hamilton gets a better grip, better acceleration than us out of the corner. But we are now going on the brakes, and we are going to get right back on him as Hamilton just locks up. He locked up his front right, and we go, and he goes very deep, and we just say thank you very much and go right on the first place. As here we are going to give Hamilton the outside lane, but it looks like we were too late and he didn't react fast enough, so he just hits us on the behind. Very close between the top three as we are approaching the yellow Renault car of Magnussen, side by side once again with Hamilton in turn 1, but looks like we get better traction. We squeeze him wide a little bit, and that gives the opportunity to Rosberg to have a go at Hamilton as they are side by side. I believe Rosberg got a better exit and is in the front, at least with his nose, but under braking he gets the inside line and gets the move done for P2. We are now overtaking the lap car of Kevin Magnussen, but this is not the perfect sector to let somebody through. And as you can see from our mirrors, Magnussen tries to let both Mercedes through, but he only managed to weld them up. As you can see, just comes back onto the racing line, pushes Rosberg off, and then does not let Hamilton through. So he holds up Hamilton. He only lets Hamilton go after the corner, so that is going to cost him some tenths. But we have DRS, I mean they have DRS, so they are going to make up any gaps they have between each other and to me. As we are now approaching the end of the race, no, they did not get any space to attack us, and we do some weaving in celebration as we are going to win the Malaysian Grand Prix, so we make it 3 in a row. A great display from us, a great race. I'm very proud of our results.
Brilliant stuff from Manor today. What a superb victory. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
Here they are now, the drivers are on their way out after that spectacular race. You know, there's a lot of love for this team in the paddock and all over the world. What a victory here from Manor.
So now jumping onto the results table, we won the race followed by Rosberg, Hamilton, then Vettel 4th, Ricciardo 5th, Raikkonen 6th, Pascal Wehrlein in 7th, a great display from him, then both McLaren Hondas in the top 10, which is great for their team, then Daniel Kvyat closing the top 10. So he actually started P13 and managed to come home 10th, so a great display from him. As we are now going back onto our motorhome, and just take a look at the results as we won the rivalry between us and Bottas. We just smashed him overall, and we are going onto the standings. So in the drivers, we overtook Kimi Raikkonen as we are tied with him with 150 points, but in just 20 points behind Daniel Ricciardo. Our teammate is very down the order at the moment, and just as we go onto the constructors standings, we are catching up to Williams as we got a very decent amount of points today, and I don't think that Williams scored any points. So this is it for today's episode of our career. It was the Malaysian Grand Prix. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It was some great racing throughout. And if you liked the video, leave a like. If you did not, the dislike button is right beside it. Subscribe if you want to see more of both this and League Racing. And hope to see you guys at the next Grand Prix, which I believe might be USA. I am not sure. But nevertheless, I'm hoping to see you guys there, and have a wonderful day.